Hi there. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm CBS 8's Jenny Day. Welcome to Around San Diego, where I'll fill you in on the top stories you may have missed and look ahead at what's to come. Right now, we're going to cover everything from your finances to public safety, free meals for kids, the health of our beaches, and with just a few days left of the fair now, show you some kitchen gadgets you never thought you needed. So let's start, though, at the pump. As you're likely well aware, in California, we are paying the highest gas prices in the country right now, and prices are still set to go up. The state gas tax is scheduled to increase this week. CBS 8's Heather Hope is working for you to break down where that money is actually going.
The price for regular gas at the Chevron behind me is $6.39 for regular, and that's already with the near 51 cents overall per gallon state tax added. That's expected to go up to nearly 54 cents per gallon starting next Friday. We're working for you to get answers why. How much is California's gas tax going up? I checked the state's transportation website, which lists that starting next Friday, July 1st, the gas tax increases by 5.6%. That takes the current tax up to 53.9 cents per gallon, which means you'll be paying 2.8 cents more. I spoke with Richard Ryder, the chairman of the San Diego Tax Fighters, who says this tax hike is coming at the worst possible time for San Diegans.
The tax goes up more this year because inflation is up. So instead of having a 1 cent increase or a 2 cent increase, now it's 3.
Why is the gas tax going up? I looked up Senate Bill 1, which state lawmakers approved in 2017, for there to be an automatic increase every year to incrementally raise the fuel excise tax. Where will all this gas tax money go? The state says most of it goes to fixing roads, repairing potholes, and rebuilding bridges, and to improve public transportation.
And I think Californians, they support those ideas, but there's a limit to their patience.
I spoke to Senator Brian Jones late this afternoon, who says he supports President Biden's call to suspend the federal and state gas taxes and says he wishes Governor Gavin Newsom would get on board and pull from California's nearly $100 billion surplus by dropping the gas tax by 70 cents.
It's really a double whammy for these families in San Diego that are already struggling to make ends meet every month.
Is there any relief or gas rebate coming? California state legislature announced this week it's creating a new committee to investigate why prices are so high. California Assembly Speaker Anthony Rendon says Californians could expect relief very soon, but didn't specify what or when.
The way the disbursement would work with respect to rebates, there are some ideas about a debit card, some ideas about a check. There's also direct deposit through FTB is the third option that we're considering.
That California Assembly Speaker says that the state legislature should decide on a gas relief package by this fall. Meanwhile, Senator Jones says San Diegans should write the governor, their assembly member, and senator with how gas prices are impacting them. We have contact information listed on our website, cbs8.com. Working for you, Heather Hope, CBS 8.
Heather, thanks. And if there's an issue you'd like us to look into, email us at workingforyou@cbs8.com. So more now on your money. If you're dreaming of buying a home in California, but getting a down payment seems impossible, state lawmakers are proposing a way to help. The California Dream for All program would help low and moderate income Californians come up with that down payment. CBS 8's Richard Allen has more on who would qualify and how it would all work.
Well, that's right. This program would be an interest-free loan, not a grant, with the proceeds eventually helping other Californians achieve the same dream of owning a home later on down the road.
I think anything extra that we can get, which is a sign of the times right now.
Maureen Martin is a mortgage broker with Home Plus Mortgage here in San Diego and has worked for more than 2 decades with first-time home buyers, helping them navigate the daunting process of purchasing a home or condo.
This whole industry is challenges beyond a lot of people's control, so I will say.
One of the most formidable challenges, the down payment, especially in San Diego County, where the median sale price exceeds $840,000. This program would provide 17% toward the purchase price of a first home. When the buyer refinances or sells the home, the state would be reimbursed for the 17% share of the home's value, and those funds would then be reinvested into the program to help more Californians break into the housing market. In a statement, State Senate President Pro Tem Tony Atkins, who is from San Diego, said, quote, "The California Dream for All program will give more people the chance to break free from the cycle of renting, become the first in their families to own a home, and make it possible for more people to set their children and grandchildren on a path to success. This has the ability to change people's lives." Martin is optimistic this program could help some families.
It totally could. Yeah, absolutely. It's just going to depend on the purchase price and their income levels as to whether or not they qualify for it.
Here in San Diego County, those levels, for example, are currently capped at $72,900 for a single person and $104,100 for a family of 4. For the first-time homebuyers in particular, Martin preaches patience, warning them not to rush into a purchasing decision.
Continue to save, continue to work on your credit, and just continue to believe that it's possible.
And this program has been included as part of the state's $300 billion legislative budget agreement, which Governor Newsom has until the end of the month to sign.
Richard, thanks. And right now, the number of unsheltered seniors in San Diego is on the rise. 2 local moms are on a mission to change that. Through their nonprofit, Housing for the Homeless, they are putting seniors with medical challenges in free hotel rooms. Heather Hope shares how the 2 women are raising the money on their own.
The nonprofit Housing for the Homeless has 5 rooms here at this Midway District motel where they can take someone unsheltered, put them in a room just like this for a couple nights, all the way up to over a year and a half.
So when we bring the seniors in, they have their own room, their own bed, and their own restroom.
Targeting medically fragile homeless seniors to get them off the streets and into permanent housing. 2 women running the Housing for the Homeless nonprofit are making that a reality.
And our elders are falling through the gaps. There's multiple systems that they need help navigating.
Homelessness hits home for Outreach Director Amy Zamudio, whose father went medically bankrupt while she was a college student at San Diego State, and he died at age 62 from leukemia while living on the streets.
And he did not tell our family that he had become unhoused.
For the last 2 years, Amy and Joanne Stanley say they have been moms on a mission for San Diego seniors by raising money on GoFundMe to pay for hotel rooms for the homeless.
We let them just sleep, eat, and relax for a couple days. At the same time, we start to help them rebuild their lives from a document point of view. Like everyone we know has lost their ID or driver's license, birth certificate.
Doug Jack is currently living in a hotel room at 60 years old after sleeping in the trunk of his car after losing his life savings on a business venture.
They got me my EBT. They got me my Medi-Cal back. Saw the doctor. My blood pressure's down to 125. Glasses. Dental next week.
After a chance meeting with the 2 coordinators of Housing for the Homeless, Doug says they got his life on track in 3 months and now his own apartment in Talmadge.
I got permanent housing last Friday. I move in July, first week in July.
Housing for the Homeless also helped former gang member Curtis Howard, who was homeless for 15 years after getting out of prison and kept getting denied from many housing programs.
And there was always a certain criteria that you had to fit in order to get in places. And I never fit the criteria.
Curtis not only has a home now, but also serves as a board member for Housing for the Homeless, who helped him.
People need housing now. They don't need waiting lists.
To continue the work that they do, Housing for the Homeless needs volunteers and money to continue to put people in rooms. We have their information on our website, cbs8.com. Heather Hope, CBS 8.
Yeah, a lot of success stories there, Heather. Thanks. And this week, there's a benefit concert featuring the classic rock band 3 Dog Night that hopes to raise money for homeless youth. As we take you inside the Zevely Zone now, Jeff shows us how the nonprofit Doors of Change is also making a difference.
For homeless youth, spotting this flyer could open a door they never thought possible.
Elliot Geist was homeless for 5 years, but thanks to his love for music, never truly alone.
I've played under the stars, I've played in the snow, the rain,
Elliot heard about Doors of Change, a nonprofit that entices young adults to leave the streets behind for a promise of free art supplies and music instruments.
It was a really safe, welcoming environment, and I really appreciated what they were doing.
This would be a good spot. We put these flyers where we would think that young people would see them.
Program Director Joanne Newgard gives young adults ages 17 to 25 exactly what they need to become self-sufficient.
By providing laptops, cell phones, IDs, gas cards, helping them with Medi-Cal, and of course finding shelter and housing is critical.
You've helped 2,300 young adults get off the streets. How did you do that?
Well, the music and art program that Jeffrey Sitkov founded 20 years ago has really been the secret sauce.
If we don't help these kids, they're going to be adults like you see on the streets downtown.
Doors of Change founder Jeffrey Sitkov raises money for his program by selling memorabilia signed by the legends of music.
Elton John, Billy Joel, the Rolling Stones, Carlos Santana, Bruce Springsteen. We've now sold $871,000 over 20 years to fund our program for 20 years to help these kids get off the streets.
A fun way to help Doors of Change out would be to attend this concert with Three Dog Night on Thursday, June 30th. I will be co-hosting this event with this classic band that had 20 hits in the top 40. Can you sing me a Three Dog Night song?
Jeremiah was a bullfrog.
Was a good friend of mine. This is going to be a fun night.
Jeffrey hired Elliot to teach music and assist with outreach.
He's a different person today. If they trust you, they ask for help.
Now it's Elliot who's hoping someone just like him spots this flyer and realizes they're not alone.
You can do it. Whatever it is that you want to do, you can find a way to make it happen.
In the Zevely Zone,
take a bow.
Jeff Zevely, CBS 8.
Again, the Three Dog Night benefit concert is June 30th. For ticket information, click on the help button at cbs8.com. Well, now to politics. We are getting a glimpse at some measures that may be added to the ballot this November. The list includes ending a long-time free service and adding daycare services for families. CBS 8's Jasmine Ramirez shows us what you may get to decide on.
The San Diego City Council is considering 6 ballot measures. The city has until mid-August to approve them before they can appear on this year's ballot. Right now, the city of San Diego pays the cost of trash collection for most single-family homes. It's thanks to the People's Ordinance, which was created more than 100 years ago. Voters may get the option to change it, allowing the city to charge trash collection fees to these homes. Another item being considered by the City Council aims to address the worsening local shortage of affordable childcare. The potential ballot measure would allow childcare businesses to operate in city parks.
What's really shocking is just how few children are actually able to enroll in licensed childcare. In fact, nearly half of children with working parents do not have an available childcare spot.
University of San Diego researchers found the city's childcare options need to double to meet the need of local families. The issues go beyond not having enough supply to meet demand. The high cost poses a major problem.
Childcare is simply not affordable for families, and at the same time, the fees that families pay do not come close to covering the true cost of providing childcare.
She says childcare for a toddler costs $14,000 a year. Families are forking over closer to $19,000 for an infant. The ballot measure would let childcares use city park space by asking voters to approve an exception to the current rules limiting childcare services. Lifting the coastal height limit in the Midway District is also being considered. The current height limit is 30 feet. The city has until August 12th to approve the ballot measures.
Jasmine Ramirez there reporting. Now here's another big one from this week. San Diego police have a pay raise coming. Officers are getting a 10% raise over the next 13 months. The Police Officers Association says it's a good start, but not a long-term solution to the staffing and recruiting issues the department faces. Steve Fiorina explains.
It wasn't everything they wanted. The raise put San Diego police officers about mid-range for the county, but still bottom third for the state. The Police Officers Association is heartened.
A 10% raise over the next 13 months within a 2-year contract is a step in the right direction.
But he wants long-term improvements in wages and benefits.
Putting minor patches on this isn't going to work. We need a 5-year budget outlook for the police force.
Chief David Nislight sent a note to City Council detailing the challenge he's facing. Quote, SDPD is anticipated to lose at least 240 sworn officers. That's for this fiscal year. It's the most in over a decade. And he said recruitment is way down, over 900 fewer candidates than last year. The chief warned the department could be forced to make drastic cuts, curtail the ghost gun unit, a homicide team, traffic enforcement, and neighborhood policing. Burnout is another factor with staffing so low.
The homicide rate is spiking right now. We're having trouble recruiting homicide detectives within the police department.
It's taking longer and longer for officers to respond to a citizen's call for help.
Our response times are at 34 minutes for a priority 1 call. That's a historic high that we've never seen before. That's a fight in progress.
San Diegans have concerns about the loss of so many of those who protect them.
It doesn't make me feel that great, honestly. You know, I'm always looking over my shoulder and wondering how close my daughter is to me.
They live in Little Italy, and homeless tents nearby are worrisome.
Safety hasn't been a big part of our life. We've always been in San Diego easygoing, but there's things that, you know, she sees now that with the homeless and it's not okay for a young child to see.
We are just running out of police officers.
He says many have gone to Riverside, many leaving California. More money or cheaper to live?
We've seen a lot of officers leave out of state to where places are more affordable, and while the pay is not necessarily higher, it's higher in terms of cost of living.
The 10% raise is called a step in the right direction. SDPD wants the march forward to continue. Steve Fiorina, CBS 8.
And there's also a new opportunity to work for the Oceanside Police Department. The department created a community officer position and will be hiring 30 for that new program. The community officers will respond to lower priority calls, freeing up sworn officers to focus on emergencies and law enforcement. There will also be a path to becoming a police officer and other jobs within the department. For more information, you can always head to CBS8.com and click on that help button. Also, just this week, the city of Poway implemented a new non-emergency number where you can call to report tips or concerning information. The goal, all to help connect people with someone when they see something worrying but don't know if they should call police. It's called Poway Alert, and the anonymous tip line was created because so often after a crime has been committed, someone comes forward saying they indeed saw the red flags, but unfortunately didn't act on it. So city leaders are hoping this new number will make it easier to share potentially life-saving information. For example, someone could call an anonymous tip about a friend or family member who is at risk. We spoke with Poway Mayor Steve Voss, who says that this is directly in response to recent shootings across the country, including the 2019 Poway synagogue shooting. Now, these messages will be immediately forwarded to the Sheriff's Department.
And we want to see if we can bridge that gap, not only for community safety, but so we can get people the help they need.
According to the National Threat Assessment Center, who supports tip lines, 67 shootings were averted between 2006 and 2018, proving that early intervention is key. Now, that number is 855-56-ALERT. And just to be clear, people should still use 911 for emergencies. That number also on our website. Staying on safety, a new facility will soon open to the public to help victims of child abuse, domestic violence, and human trafficking. It's called One Safe Place. It's located in San Marcos and offers a myriad of free services under one roof, including crisis care, forensic medical exams, legal services, and more. One Safe Place opens to the public July 5th. Well, sidewalks in San Diego were not as busy this week following a new ordinance on vendors. Under the new regulations, those wanting to sell stuff on the street must now pay a $38 permit fee every year and can only operate now in certain areas. Food vendors will also need to obtain a county health permit and food handler's card. Now, as I continue to take you around San Diego, I want you to know that Feeding San Diego is providing a free breakfast, lunch, or snack all summer long for kids in need. There are 22 new sites spanning from San Ysidro to Oceanside where you can show up, no questions asked, and get a bite to eat. The only requirement is being under the age of 18. It might be hard to imagine, but when I spoke with Feeding San Diego, they told me that nearly half of the kids in San Diego County lose access to nutritious meals once school is out for the summer.
Right now, with gas prices and food prices soaring, families are really being pushed to the brink. Even people middle class that never had trouble before are really finding that they're in a precarious situation, and people's budgets are just being really, really stretched.
We have the address to all 22 new locations listed on CBS8.com. Just click that help button. And if you are in a position to help, donations can be made to Feeding San Diego. Now to the ongoing drought. There's a renewed push for us all to cut back on our water usage. CBS 8's Kirsten Holmes has more on the message to conserve water, especially as the weather heats up.
Well, I ain't happy about it. What are you going to do? This is a scarce resource. Scarcity breeds cost.
This afternoon, Mayor Todd Gloria joined state and local leaders to tell San Diegans it's time to cut back on water usage right now. The push for conservation comes right as rates increase 3 to 5%.
None of us like this. This is the last thing that we want to have happen, both the request to reduce our water usage as well as have to pay more for it. But it's the reality we find ourselves in. This is a significant drought.
The San Diego County Water Authority's Board of Directors unanimously adopted a resolution this afternoon reaffirming their commitment to conservation. They say this is the worst drought in 1,200 years. Gary Croucher, chairman of the Water Authority, says they're not enforcing the new restrictions, but Governor Newsom is looking into how to punish folks who use too much water.
While we've prepared here in San Diego through diversifying our water supplies, we're not in this alone still. Taking a shower just a little bit shorter by when you're washing dishes, shut it off in between, fill the sink up and do it. When you're landscaping and watering outside, reducing that time.
San Diego County is already under water restrictions that started on June 10th. They include watering lawns only 3 times per week before 10 a.m. and after 6 p.m. And you cannot use your sprinklers for 48 hours after it rains. Folks we talked to agree that it's time to cut back.
So I try to be as conservative as possible, and because I watch every penny.
It's going up and we're just going to have to keep paying for it. I'd rather be in the position where we can pay for it, but I'm all for the conservation of water. There's a lot of people who like to keep their yards and a lot of water being, I feel, wasted on outdoor landscaping.
We need to do our part. We cannot blame the government for everything. So we have a lot of bad habits. We need to cut that out.
Yeah, always more to be done, but be proud. We are told San Diegans are doing better than most Californians when it comes to water conservation. Well, with San Diego Pride around the corner, let's look now at adoption options for same-sex couples, especially as reproductive technology continues to advance. But as Cleo Green reports, it is expensive to create a family.
Brady and Renee are happily married,
They're dads on the go, the proud parents of toddler twins.
It is interesting because we are kind of the unicorns within the community.
Creepy Easter bunny.
It's becoming more common to see gay couples raising kids, but biologically, for two males, the road to pregnancy is downright expensive, and it comes with more legal and logistical hurdles.
They're just an awesome couple, and they knew exactly what they wanted from the get-go. They didn't really know exactly how to get there. Freeze them, and that's when you'll get a phone call.
Dr. Julian Escobar is the go-to fertility doctor, and he's actually starting to see more male couples who want to be dads.
People are now saying that they can have a completely fulfilled life, that they can live the life that they can be true to themselves and be happy and not have to give up being a parent.
This was in Tahiti.
It takes time and a lot of patience. The first step is to find an egg donor, which can cost about $20,000.
There's like hundreds and hundreds of profiles, right? And so it's like, how do you choose, right? Like, okay, do you want, a white Caucasian? Do you want an African American?
I found ourselves like judging people that we didn't even know.
We were actually gonna ask my sister and kind of use his.
Let's not tell all of our business.
Well, no, but
this is the thing. We won't tell you everything, but a close friend donated her eggs, and through the process of IVF, embryos were created by both dads, who then had to find a gestational carrier, another delicate and legal process that can add up to nearly $150,000.
They are now oddly part of our extended family as well.
And that family, a surrogate from Temple, Texas, welcomed their babies into this world with love and compassion. It's what Brady and Renee want most for their children, because without that, humanity cannot survive.
When they go off on their own journey, that all they have to know about us is that we just gave them unconditional love and teach them to love other people.
Thanks so much for that one. Well, from babies to beaches, Around San Diego has you covered. A new report card is grading California's dirtiest and cleanest beaches. CBS 8's Jasmine Ramirez also shows us the local beaches that made the honor roll and the beach that received an F rating.
This year, San Diego County had 15 beaches make the honor roll, which is 3 more than last year. Only one beach made the bummer list for being extremely polluted.
Usually a lot of people talk about like the sunsets here, like they're super pretty when you're on the boardwalk.
Beachgoers know where to catch the best sunsets and have fun out on the sand.
Play volleyball, hang out, play spike ball, and surf a little bit.
They've also taken note of what beaches seem cleaner than others.
We've been to other places where the beaches have not been clean, and it's wonderful that like where we live has super clean beaches.
The organization Heal the Bay has released its annual beach report card for nearly 30 years. Beaches with a C grade or lower pose a greater risk of getting you sick. Extremely dirty beaches receive an F. Tijuana Slough was ranked among the most polluted in the region.
That means they experienced a lot of poor water quality, and by water quality, we mean fecal pollution.
He says infrastructure issues cause millions of gallons of sewage to enter the Tijuana River and eventually travel into the Pacific Ocean.
The United States federal government is beginning to invest some more money into correcting this issue, so we are optimistic that the situation will improve.
If you're looking for the cleanest beaches, you can find 5 of them in the Carlsbad area, including Tamarack Avenue, Encina Creek, and Cerezo Drive. La Jolla Shores Beach had 3 areas listed around Scripps Pier. They all received an A+ for having perfect water quality every day of the year.
The best beach that I've been to is Carlsbad. They have a pier there with the fish and everything like that, and the water is just truly blue, and you can just tell the difference. It look like the fish are more happy.
Beaches in Oceanside, Point Loma, and several others also made the A+ list. You can find the full report card on our website. Jasmine Ramirez, CBS 8.
Yeah, so fortunate to live here. Beautiful beaches. Hey, and this one got so much attention, so I have to revisit it. The dog that got loose inside of that gorilla habitat at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park did in fact have an owner. Meatball is his name, and thankfully he was not injured. We are told his owner has now fitted their yard with one of those trolley systems for dogs so that Meatball can explore without getting out again. Well, it's the last week of the San Diego County Fair. It is so many things to so many people, and that goes for our Sean Stiles as well. He gives us a look now at the new kitchen gadgets and checks to see if they really work.
I love coming to the fair, and one of the things I love coming to the fair for are kitchen gadgets. This mandolin I bought 20 years ago, but I'm in the market for something else. Let's go see what other kind of gadgets I can find. All right, we're at Gourmet Grater. This is Kobe King. Your family has been importing these for how long?
A little close to 40 years.
What's really cool about these, Kobe, is the way you guys peel garlic. Look at this piece of garlic here, and watch that right there. We're going to put it in. Most people smash them with a knife. Look at that, how that garlic just peels right off. And now, check this out. You just run this around, and look at that garlic puree. But what I really like is for the sweets, right?
Especially if you're cooking, baking.
Little dark chocolate. Look at that. I just want to eat that. And then the other thing that's really great is the grated Parmesan cheese.
If you're thinking about any type of hors d'oeuvres, any type of mixes for Italian, our herb mill, put 5 or 6 herbs pressed down, and when you wiggle it, not only is it dispensing the oils, you're crushing the oils and the herbs. So your potency goes through the roof.
And I can just grate it with the Parmesan cheese and that, and I've got instant garlic bread.
You got it right there.
I mean, this is amazing, and it really works. I mean, that's the great thing. You know, you come here to the fair and these gimmicky things, and people are like, ah, it's a gimmick.
Right.
This one really works. I love this stuff. I'm going to go over and check out the OMG peeler. Thanks again for having us.
Thanks, Sean, for having me.
You can go back and forth, flip it over, and now you have your zucchini noodles. Just like that. Very simple.
All right, I'm at OMG Peeler. World's best peeler, is that right, Kurt?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the gentleman over here is getting a demonstration. Now, you would agree that a trained professional can do this at any time, right, sir? All right, well, I'm going to step in and take over and see if it works. Okay, so the one thing to remember about these peelers is they're incredibly sharp. So an insanely good peeler. So this is the Julian side?
Yes, sir.
Okay, here we go. All right, that's pretty good, wouldn't you say? There we go. Ah, you see, you got to bring it over the top. And the thing is about this peeler is it works on other things, like a potato. Look at that. What about zucchini? If you're going to make spaghetti zucchini. Look at that. That is just awesome. Perfectly sliced. And now show me this squash. This is always one. Hard to peel, great to eat. This peeler part, I mean, one pass. Look at that. I get right down to the nice core here.
The little triangle. Shoestring potato.
I'm hired, right? All right, we've tried out the OMG peeler. We've got the grater, kitchen gadgets. They all seem to work pretty good. Come check out all these great gadgets at the fair. We'll send it back to you in the studio.
Boy, even the pineapple worked. So keep it here as I continue to take you around San Diego. We appreciate you staying informed. For CBS 8, I'm Jenny Day.